Jesse here with OBX Millennial, and today we are going to review the Elfin Pumpless Pet Fountain. So, as you've probably already figured out based on all of the other cat appearances in my videos, I am definitely a cat person, and I tend to buy products for my cats that they may or may not need. One such product that I have bought numerous times and been through several versions of are pet fountains. Now, cats are notorious for not drinking enough water. That's one of the reasons vets recommend that you give them wet food instead of just dry food so they stay hydrated. However, my cats both like water. They like water so much they play in the bathtub and play in the sink and play in puddles and pretty much will put their paw in my glass or whenever they can get their little selves around or in water. They're not afraid of it. However, they are not a huge fan of stagnant water bowls. The reason a lot of cats don't like stagnant water is because in nature, moving water tends to indicate the water is likely fresher and safe to drink. And instinctually, cats know that still water might not be good. So, a lot of cats prefer running water, which is why you may have a cat or have seen a cat that likes to drink from the sink or tries to drink water that you're pouring out of your Brita filter. But either way, pet fountains are a great way to provide a fresh running water source for your pet. But as I've discovered, not all pet fountains are the same. In the past, my biggest issues with fountains that I've purchased are that they just are so hard to keep clean. Even if you put new water in every day, even if you clean it regularly like you were supposed to, it just, it's water sitting there pooling and collecting dust and debris from the air. And of course, it builds mildew up even when you use a filter. It's just unavoidable in certain locations, especially where I live, where it's very humid and hot. And sometimes cleaning pet fountains is just such a hassle that you wonder if it's worth it. Tucker is not very fickle. He will drink out of anything. In fact, sometimes he goes to my neighbor's house and drinks out of a fish tank that they have bamboo plants in and a betta fish. And why he does this, I don't know. I've seen him drink out of muddy flower pots outside. I mean, the cat is insane. He just will put anything in his mouth. Leo, on the other hand, is much pickier. He does not eat wet food. So Tucker gets water from water sources, but also from wet food, which he eats every day. Leo will not touch wet food. He is very persnickety, even though he is the chunkier of the cats. He only wants dry. And so I need to make sure that he gets enough water. Now, maybe 6 months ago, he discovered that the sink is where water flows freely and is nice and fresh, and he became one of those cats who only wanted to drink out of the sink. The issue is I only have one bathroom in my current house that, people use, and not everyone is particularly fond of brushing their teeth in the same sink that a cat drinks out of. The other weird thing is that the way he would drink out of the sink is that he will stick his whole head under the faucet with water running down his head, and he just licks the bottom of the sink, and that's how he drinks water. It's very weird. I will share a clip here so you can see. So anyway, I knew I needed to find a better water source for Leo. So I got a stainless steel fountain at one point that had a spout that looked like a sink and continuously flowing water. And I thought, this literally looks like a kitchen sink. Maybe he'll be into it. He drank from it every now and then, but still preferred the bathroom. And Tucker, he was fine with it. He switched from his old, I had a little plastic flower pot fountain. He drank out of that. He drank out of the new stainless steel one. He didn't really care. The issue was with the stainless steel one, which was the same issue I had with the flower pot, is that the motor for the pump would just get so grody no matter what I did or how often I cleaned it. And there's just all these little nooks and crannies in the pump where you just can't, get in the device to clean it properly. And I just would always see this mildew, and I would soak it and, use different safe cleaning products. And it even came with one of those little wire bristle brushes to clean it, but it wasn't cutting it. And that's gross. And I don't want my cats to be drinking dirty water, if I can control it. And so I have always been on the lookout for something else. This is where the Elfin fountain came in. So a few months ago, I was just scrolling through social media. And of course, I have a lot of ads targeted to me that are cat related. No shame, advertisers know what they're doing. One of them was for a Kickstarter campaign for a pumpless cat fountain. Needless to say, I was instantly intrigued. I clicked on it, watched the videos for the Kickstarter campaign, learned all about the ins and outs of the fountain, why it was different, how it worked. And I thought, you know what? This seems cool. And I Googled a few other different pumpless fountains on the market, and there were some, but I really appreciated this campaign and the advertisements, and I thought, you know what, let's give it a chance. So I decided to participate as a funder for the campaign, and I ordered a pumpless fountain, and it did take a while to come in, which the producers were very clear about would be the case, so I don't really have a complaint on that. But when I received it, I was so excited to open it and set it up and use it. And in all honesty, I have been using it for about 4 months now, and I have just been very happy. And so I wanted to share my review of this pet fountain in case anyone is having the same issues I had when it comes to, getting fresh water for your cats. Now, I will mention at the time of filming this review, the Elfin fountain is available directly from their website. The Kickstarter campaign has ended. So if this is a product you're interested in learning about or even want to purchase, you just need to go directly to their website, which is elfinfountain.com. So this is the box that the fountain comes in once you purchase it. And as I said, this is now available on their website directly, as are the boxes of filters. So essentially, the fountain comes in a few different pieces, which you put together. It's very simple if you follow the instructions, and I will share the assembly shortly, as the reason I'm doing this review today is that it was time to change the filter and clean the fountain out. So I have recently taken apart, and it is drying in the sink. So I will assemble it later in the video so you can see how easy it really is. So what makes this much easier to clean than other fountains I've had before? Let's see if you can see this. This is the base. On the bottom, you can see where it actually plugs in, and then a cord can run in either direction and tucks up under here so the base sits flat. This is really handy, so you don't have to worry about which side the plug is on. Now here at the top, you can see the set of indicator lights, and the back of the base actually describes what the lights mean in case you forget or you throw away your instruction booklet like some people. And then this senses when the cats are near. So at the top, there is a light to indicate whether or not the battery is fully charged. So that is one perk about this fountain. While I do leave mine plugged in, it will run on battery. So if you ever need to go away for a day or two and you're not comfortable leaving something plugged in, if you make sure this battery is charged, you can guarantee that water will still come out fresh for your pets without having anything plugged in. Now, the other two lights at the top that are currently orange, one is indicating that there is a bad connection between the base and the actual fountain bowl, obviously, as I am, moving it around. The other light is an indicator light. This light means that it is time to change the filter. That is another feature that, although small, I find incredibly helpful, so I don't have to put a calendar reminder. I don't have to ask Alexa to remind me. It just turns orange when it's ready for a new filter. All right, so now I'm going to show you how easy it is to assemble. I have just washed out all of the pieces of the fountain, and now we are going to put it back together to fill. Now, this piece and this connector, Now, this piece and this connector in the fountain will be separate when you first open the box. And to assemble, you literally just press it into the piece and it stays in there. And this is the Pumpless fountain. The fountain itself sits right like this and fits very nicely. For the top pieces, we have a bowl, and this is where the filter will set. This sits on top of the filter. This is actually where the water comes out, and the water return drain is right here. And this is the bubbler piece that goes on top. Now, the original fountain I ordered did come with, I believe, a pack of 4 replacement filters. But this is the box that they come in if you order them from the website. This is a pack of 8. Individual filters come wrapped in these bags, and it does give instructions that filters should be soaked in water for 5 minutes before putting into the fountain. This is your quick Leo break update coming in from his cat tower. If you would like to see the assembly of this, check out the video listed below. How is it, babe? Now, as instructed, I have soaked the filter for 5 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and replace it and put some new water in the fountain. This is what the soaked filter looks like. To assemble, we're just going to take this piece, put the filter right in there, it slides right in. And then this hole, you just need to match up with the hole in this piece. As you can see, that also fits right in. Now you can also see there is a hole for the pump right here that you will line up. Just like that. To secure it in place, there are latches on each side. And then the spout, we want to just push in, and it will have little divots on each side where the water comes out. And then simply sit it onto the bowl. Now on the back, there is an on-off button. I'm going to hold that 3 seconds to power on. And you can see the lights, the indicator lights did turn on. If you can see that. This button here is the filter reset button. I'm going to go ahead and hold it down for 5 seconds to indicate that I have changed the filter. And then this light at the top should go off. There we go. That is how simple it is to change the filter. Now, to add water, you can pour it in from the top and just let it drain through if you're very careful not to let it overflow. I advise putting it in before putting the lid on and assembling everything, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to pour in. It does recommend that you use filtered water, which I keep cold in the refrigerator for the cats. Once you get to the minimum fill line, if the fountain is still turned on, it will go ahead and start working. So I'll fill all the way. Leo is going to come demonstrate for me. So there are two options. You can have the pump put water out every so often to attract a cat if you have one that isn't really a fan of water, or there's an option where it senses if they're nearby and just turns on. That's what I have mine set on, and as you can see, it did turn off there for a second because it comes out in, I believe, 10-second or 15-second intervals. As you can see, it is working off battery right now. I do not have it plugged in. And Leo is a happy customer. He does like to drink the water straight from the bowl versus from the drip part of the water. Tucker likes to drink it from the fountain part of the water. What do you think, baby? Is this a good fountain? Yeah? Is this a success? I think cats are pretty intuitive. They can figure out how to get it to turn back on by itself. As you can see, he just did it. He knows if he goes up to it, it'll turn on. And although he will occasionally still drink out of the bathroom sink, I would say this has changed his use of the sink tremendously. Now he only goes maybe once every week to drink out of the bathroom, whereas this he uses on a daily basis. So there we have it, folks. That is my review of the Elfin Pumpless cat fountain. All in all, I'm very happy with it. Both Tucker and Leo use it, and I know they're getting adequate water. It's super easy to clean. It's quiet. It is not an eyesore in my house. I have no complaints. The price was similar to prices I paid for other cat fountains, so I don't have an issue with that. And the filters ship very quickly when I order them. I haven't had any issues getting the filters. All in all, I would definitely recommend this to someone looking for a pet fountain because all of the issues that you'll encounter with a fountain, this really has seemed to solve them. And cleaning, I would say, is the biggest one because you can't let your cats, be drinking dirty mildew water. What's the point of a fountain if, that's what they're drinking? So this really solves that problem, and I am super happy with it. Highly recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. And hey, if it gets Leo to stop drinking out of the sink, then it's a win. For more content like this, go to www.obxmillennial.com.